We thought it was a fun game when we were younger. A great way to pass the time and waste paper in class. I'd wish I'd never heard of it. 7th grade was the most boring time of my life. I had recently moved to a new school. Again, this one came with all the perks of being a rural. Everyone's going to be a farmer. Anti-education plan. Not that I have anything against farmers. Mind you, they feed the world. But not everyone in a small town is destined to become one. I was ahead in all my classes. The big city schools had really over-prepared me for the lackluster educational standards of Albatross Middle School. I spent most of my time in class reading a book or doodling to look like I was taking notes. I didn't bother making friends, as I knew my father would be moved somewhere else with his job soon enough. Then came the day Tracy Vargas asked me to play M.A.S.H. She was a pretty girl, no homecoming queen, maybe, but she had quite a slew of admirers. I don't think she ever knew, though she was shy and obviously, and much like me, spent a lot of time reading. One day she slipped me a folded piece of paper across the aisle during English class. The top fold said, "Fill it out. Pick a number other than 4, send it back." I gave her a sidelong glance and she giggled and went back to work. I curiously unfolded the paper. There were 4 spots for each category: spouse, wedding location, honeymoon location, kids, job, car, and salary. I filled in the answers, choosing mostly movie stars for the spouse category and random numbers for kids and salary. I refolded the paper, wrote the number 7 on the top, and slipped it back to Tracy. She instantly got to work mapping out my future. Every 7th option was crossed off until only 1 remained in each category. Tracy folded the paper and slipped it across the aisle with a weary smile just as the bell rang. I opened the page after I got to my next class, eager to see what the future held for me. According to this round of M.A.S.H, I was going to live in a shack. Married to Orlando Bloom, our wedding would be held in Hawaii, and we would honeymoon in Paris. We would have 7 kids and a Ferrari, all while earning less than $10,000 a year as a burger flipper for Burger King. I snickered at the page and tucked it away in the back of my binder. If only life was like that. Tracy and I became close friends by the end of the year, and I dreaded the "hey kids, we're moving" that would inevitably come over the summer months. To my surprise, it never did. I stayed in Albatross Middle School with Tracy as my best friend for 8th grade, and even moved with her to Albatross High School the following year. By our freshman year, we had played M.A.S.H with anyone who would participate. The standard format was old and boring, so to spice it up, we added 2 new categories: death, age, and death. The new layout looked something like this. Now, in addition to our family and prosperity, we could predict our lifespan and the means by which you met your maker, all in fun, of course. Tracy was the first victim of the new format. She would marry her current sweetheart, Jason Hampton, in Albatross, and honeymoon in Hawaii. They would have no kids and drive a Prius. She would make $25 grand working as a teacher, and she would die at the age of 27 of suffocation by sleep paralysis. Considering we were 15 at the time, we thought it was hilarious. I still don't remember why, but I made a special folder and kept every M.A.S.H we played with the new format in it. We only let each person play once, because with their death decided there weren't any do-overs. Halfway through my senior year at Albatross, the terrible news came. We were moving. Tracy and I managed to keep in touch throughout the move and the years since, even though I was 1,000 miles away. I never went back to Albatross, but Tracy came to visit me a few times in college. The last time to show off the engagement ring Jason had given her. We met up a few times after getting our bachelor's degree. I was continuing straight for my master's while she had been hired at her old middle school to teach English. 3 months ago, I got the news that Tracy was finally getting married. 6 years of engagement, in my opinion, was crazy, but Tracy had wanted to be well established in her job and have enough money put aside between her and Jason to have an amazing honeymoon in Hawaii. The wedding was a small affair, only close friends and family, and I stood at the front of Tracy's maid of honor. They had a short ceremony, cake afterwards, and they left to catch their plane to Hawaii. That was 2 days ago. This morning I woke up to a phone call from Jason's mother. I could barely make out the words through the tears. Tracy had passed in the night. When he woke up, she was blue and already cold. The coroner suspected suffocation, and Jason had been taken into custody. After the initial shock, something made me remember the M.A.S.H game. I dug through my old files and finally found the folder. And Tracy's sheet. Today would have been, her 27th birthday. She had married Jason in Albatross. They were honeymooning in Hawaii. She was making just over $25,000 as the English teacher for Albatross Middle School, driving a Prius to save on gas money. When they returned from their honeymoon, Jason and Tracy had plans to buy a house because their apartment was feeling too small and they wanted to start a family. The pieces clicked together so well. I still can't believe it played out just like the stupid childish game said it would. I have spent the rest of today looking through the sheets. 4 more of my classmates had a death at age of 27 or younger. I've tried to find them on social media. All I've found are obituaries. The pieces of their life match the pencil markings on the page. I don't know if it's the game or it's me, but something about M.A.S.H game has turned sinister. I found my own page at the bottom of the stack. I've only got a year to live. I hope I can make it to my 10-year class reunion to warm the 20 or so others whose sheets I possess. Just like you, they probably won't believe me anyway.